Unexpected words from Sinner after his doping ban. Can a tennis player remain world number one without touching a racket for months? Jannik Sinner is proving that it's possible. Despite his 3-month ban, the Italian has not lost his throne in the rankings and already has his return date set, the Rome Masters 1000. In an exclusive interview, Sinner revealed how he has experienced this mandatory break, and the most surprising part is his confession: "I don't even think that much about tennis. What has been going through the mind of the best tennis player on the planet while he's been off the courts? Let's find out." Jannik Sinner appears smiling, relaxed, and full of energy in his interview with Sky Sports. The Italian has broken his silence and delivered a clear message: he's well rested and feels ready. His official return is scheduled for May, just in time to play the Rome Masters 1000, one of the most special tournaments on the calendar, as it takes place in his home country, with the support of his people. The ideal stage for his return to the tour after 3 months of inactivity. During this time away from the courts, many expected Sinner to be anxious, counting the days to compete again. But his statements reveal a very different reality. Jannik himself confessed that, although he would have liked to continue playing, he hasn't spent the time obsessed with tennis. He used the ban to disconnect, do different things, and take care of both his body and mind. "I don't even think that much about tennis," he said honestly. A phrase that is surprising, especially coming from the current world number one. But it makes sense. At 23 years old, Sinner has learned the importance of balance and knows that staying mentally strong is just as important as having a killer forehand. This forced break allowed him to look beyond the sport and reconnect with himself. The pause also brought physical benefits. After a packed schedule of tournaments and travel, Jannik took the time to fully recover. In his own words, he feels closer every day to being in his best physical and mental shape, although he also admits there's still work to be done. This realistic attitude is yet another sign of his maturity as an athlete. Rome is his big target, not just because it marks his official return. It will be an opportunity to reunite with his fans, feel the adrenaline of competition again, and prove that he hasn't lost a bit of his level. Even though he hasn't played in 3 months, no rival has managed to take the number one spot from him, which shows how high the bar was before his ban. Sinner's return is not only important for him but also for the ATP circuit. With his elegant style, powerful game, and calm demeanor, the Italian has become a key figure in today's tennis. His comeback promises strong emotions, and all eyes will be on him when he steps onto the Roman clay once again. Jannik Sinner's confession may seem puzzling, not thinking much about tennis while being number one. But in reality, it reflects a new way of understanding high-performance sports, where mental well-being is just as important as winning titles. This break was more than just a pause, it was a reset. And if all goes according to plan, Rome could mark not only his comeback but the beginning of an even more dominant phase in his career. What would happen if the world number one in tennis chose a Spanish coach to lead his next stage? That is exactly what might be happening with Jannik Sinner. Despite his ban and current absence from the tour, the Italian is still making headlines. And this time, due to a possible partnership that could revolutionize world tennis. Carlos Moya, Spanish tennis legend and Rafa Nadal's mentor, is the favorite to become the new coach of the Italian prodigy. Are we witnessing the birth of a historic duo? Let's find out. Jannik Sinner is not wasting time during his suspension. Despite being away from the courts for 3 months following his doping case, the Italian has used this break to reinvent himself. In addition to staying in shape both physically and mentally, Sinner has begun to restructure his team, and that includes one of the most important changes: his coach. Current coach Darren Cahill had already announced his departure at the end of the season, but it seems the split might happen sooner. This has set off alarm bells in the tennis world, especially after the name of the main candidate to replace Cahill was leaked: Carlos Moya. The former world number one and key member of Rafael Nadal's team could be Sinner's choice to guide him on his path to total dominance on the circuit. A choice that surprises and excites, especially for what it represents, uniting the new star of tennis with one of the pillars of La Armada. Riccardo Piatti, Sinner's former coach, was the one who brought Moya's name to the table. According to him, Moya is the ideal choice, not only because of his experience as a player and coach, but also for his human values. Moya would be a great coach for Jannik. He knows the circuit and is a great person, he commented. The emotional connection and shared vision of tennis could be key in this new stage for the Italian. But Moya isn't the only name on the list. Sinner is also considering other sports legends such as Ivan Lubicic, Boris Becker, and Renzo Furlan. All of them have experience, all of them have titles, but none has had the recent impact Moya has, having guided Nadal through key moments in his career and keeping him competitive at the highest level even during tough times. For Sinner, this decision isn't just tactical, it's strategic. With his eyes set on his return at the Rome Masters 1000, he needs someone who understands what it means to play under pressure, what it means to be at the top. And stay there. Carlos Moya meets all those requirements, and his work philosophy would fit perfectly with the maturity and calm mindset that the young Italian has shown even in the most difficult moments. Moreover, this move could mean an unexpected twist in international tennis dynamics. Can you imagine Moya coaching against Rafa Nadal in the near future, now on Sinner's side? It's a scene few would have imagined, but it could become reality if this deal goes through. Jannik Sinner is about to make one of the most important decisions of his career. And although it's not official yet, the possibility of Carlos Moya becoming his new coach has stirred excitement in the tennis world. By combining the Italian's brilliant present with the Spaniard's experience, we could be looking at one of the most powerful alliances on the circuit. As Sinner's return to the courts approaches, his choice will set the tone for what's to come. Rome will be the starting point, but the real match is already underway, building the perfect team to dominate tennis in the new era. Was it a simple mistake or negligence in the doping case that rocked the world number one? Jannik Sinner, the young Italian prodigy, continues to make headlines even off the court, and not for his winning shots. This time, the scandal that kept him away from the tour for 3 months takes a new twist. The player's former fitness coach, Umberto Ferrara, has broken his silence and directly points to the team's physiotherapist. Are we dealing with an internal conspiracy or just a chain of errors? Today, we tell you everything. The positive result for clostebol detected in Jannik Sinner's body during the Indian Wells Masters 1000 has caused a wave of reactions. While some accepted the explanation of accidental contamination through a massage, others question the transparency of the process. The player's former fitness coach, Umberto Ferrara, has now made a statement that changes everything. I warned him, but he didn't listen, referring to physiotherapist Giacomo Naldi, whom he holds directly responsible for the incident. Ferrara claims he was aware of the risks of the clostebol spray, a substance banned by the World Anti-Doping Agency, WADA, and that he issued warnings before it was used around Sinner. According to him, Naldi used the product without taking necessary precautions, such as wearing gloves or washing his hands before treating the player. A small oversight that ended up having major consequences for the Italian's career. Although both Ferrara and Naldi left Sinner's team in August 2023, the controversy continues to grow. The ISHA, International Tennis Integrity Agency, initially did not sanction the player, but WADA appealed the decision, requesting a much harsher punishment, between 1 and 2 years off the courts. In the end, Sinner accepted a 3-month suspension that will end just before the Rome Masters 1000. The tennis community quickly reacted. Some players and experts considered the sanction excessively lenient for a world number one, while others defended the Italian's position, insisting it was an accident with no intention to cheat. However, Ferrara's recent statements raise questions. If there were warnings, why were they ignored? And why wasn't the team of an elite player more careful with protocols? Ferrara now works with fellow Italian Matteo Berrettini, and his testimony serves to distance himself from responsibility in a case that could have compromised his reputation. For his part, Naldi has not made any public statements, but his silence only increases the media attention on the matter. The credibility of Sinner's technical team is at stake, especially at such a key moment in his career. Meanwhile, Jannik Sinner's return to the tour is already marked in red, the Rome Masters 1000, from May 7 to 18. It will be his first official appearance after the ban, and all eyes will be on him. Not just because of his level on the court, but for how he will handle the pressure of returning as world number one, with a recent blemish on his record. Jannik Sinner's doping case has become one of the most talked about episodes of the year in the tennis world. Ferrara's recent statements shed more light on what happened but also open new questions. Was it a simple misstep or a series of avoidable oversights? One thing is certain, the consequences are already written. With his return just around the corner, Sinner will have to not only reclaim the court, but also the trust of the public in the tour. And with a new coaching team in the works, every move he makes will be under the microscope. Will Jannik Sinner come back stronger from this scandal? Or will this incident mark a turning point in his rising career? Leave your opinion in the comments, and if you want to follow every move of this thrilling comeback, subscribe to the channel. See you in Rome, where the net won't just divide the court. It'll divide opinions too.